Hello everyone, welcome to day 4 of my Adventurous Sky Bundle class to go. I am featuring this class as a class to go. You can earn this class free with orders in my online store. All the details are in the video description as well as on my blog. There's a link to join there. Make sure that with options 1 and 2 you are using that host code to get the kit for free. Option number 3, don't use the host code because you're going to receive Stampin' rewards as well as everything else that comes in your kit. We're going to jump into today's card without a lot of talk at the beginning because today's is going to take just a little bit longer and I want to make sure that we have plenty of time for it. So this is the bundle I'm featuring, the Adventurous Sky Bundle. This is in our annual catalog. We are also featuring the Take to the Sky DSP, and that is on sale this month for 15% off, so you can shop for that in my online store. This is the card we're making today. We're going to do some coloring with Stampin' Blends over here. It's going to be gorgeous. The other cards that will come in your kit, we made this one on Monday. This is card number 1. This is card number 2. We did this one on Tuesday. Card number 3, we did this one yesterday. And today is card number 4. This will be the final card in our class to go kit. But I love this one. The detail on this one is so pretty. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in with our stamping. So I have just a scrap piece of basic white. You're going to get this in your kit. Your kit will also include all the papers you need, but you will need the bundle to die cut things, as well as all the inks and the stamps to do all the stamping and the coloring and all of that stuff that will not be done in your kit. So I'm stamping this plane. This is the largest plane in our black memento. And let me move that out of the way. So let me zoom in a little bit so you can kind of see what we're doing with our coloring. Now for the card, we're going to color our plane kind of similar. I took all of my coloring based on the DSP on this paper. So that is kind of what we're going to do. So we're actually going to start with our copper clay. And we're just going to do kind of the body of the plane. I am not going to do a whole lot of blending on this. I wanted to have like that kind of sketchy look. And so we're just not going to do a lot of blending. There's not... we're going to do a little bit, but it's not going to be super detailed. And the kind of the rougher you can color this, the sketchier you can color this, I think the better. So we're just going to color this whole thing with light copper clay. And there's little tiny pieces here, like the little legs of the plane for the wheels. And then just going around all these little pieces just gets a little bit, lots of little spaces. So, you know, just roughly coloring that with my light copper clay, just giving that like a coat of color. And then I'm going to come in with my dark. And I know I said we weren't going to do a lot of blending, but I'm just going to add some dark pieces under the wing, kind of behind the wing as well. And then like around this part where the propellers are spinning, like that. All right. And then if you want, you can just go back in with your light and just kind of blend that out. You don't have to. The ink from the light should still be a little bit wet, so it's just going to kind of naturally blend anyway. All right, so that was our copper clay. We're going to come in with our Night of Navy, and I'm going to use the light Night of Navy, and I'm just going to add just a little bit to the bottoms of the wings here. So kind of just where the artist has indicated that this is where you want it to go. So just kind of going along the bottom of the wings there, along the bottom here, and on this one too. Just a little bit on that back one. So you can see just kind of where I put that. And I'm going to come in with my light, oh, I grabbed gray granite. Let me grab the right colors. I'm going to come in with my light smoky slate. Is this the right one? Yeah. With my light smoky slate, and we are going to blend that out. We're going to blend that Night of Navy. I'm actually going to turn it upside down so I can pull it towards me. But we're going to blend that out, and I'm not going all the way to the top of the wing. Can you see that? I'm just kind of going over that Night of Navy part, just kind of blending it out, just kind of, you know, small circles or small flicks, just kind of blending it out up to the top of the wing. A little bit over that. The same down here, just blending it a little bit, but I'm not going all the way to the top. We're going to use the color lifter to add even more magic that way. So just blend that out. It's not going to blend completely because these are two completely different colors, so you're not going to see a completely seamless blend. But that's where we are so far. It gives it just nice highlights. And then I'm going to take my color lifter. And for my color lifter, I do prefer the brush end. I feel like you get much better blending with this one. And so now I'm just going to take my color lifter and start from that Night of Navy line and just blend. And this time I'm trying to go all the way to the top. And that's really going to blend this even further. It's going to bring those two colors together, and it's going to kind of blur that line of that smoky slate. That's like, here we have kind of like a harsh line, and up here it's starting to blend out a little bit. And that's really what the magic of the color lifter is. If you go over it too much, you're going to start to take away color. The color lifter does kind of remove a little bit of color, so don't go over it too much. Really, we're just blending those colors just a little bit. Okay? And I'm going to go back in with my dark smoky slate this time, and we're just going to color in the little wheels here. And what else did I do for the, oh, I did these little, I don't know what these are called on a plane, but these little things that's connecting like the top wing to the bottom wing. And I need to go back in with my light copper clay and just finish off this little wheel right here. Okay, oh, I forgot this part. Let's do some light smoky slate here. You can use the dark as well, just a little bit on the front where the propellers are. And that's it. That's all of our coloring. As this continues to dry, the color lifter will continue to work a little more, and you're going to see those colors blended even more. Oh, I think I went too far. There we go. All right, we're going to die cut this. So I'm going to grab my die from my die set. And I have a couple pieces of Post-it note that I'm going to use to hold this down. And just make sure everything is lined up. Check the wings, check the wheels, check the propellers. Okay, so that's ready to go. Before we bring it out die cutting machine though, let's stamp the greeting. So I have flying by, you know what, let's do the stamping because we still have to stamp some of the cards. So let's just do our die cutting. We're ready to go on that. Let's get that out of the way. So I have my Boho Blue mini machine. You can do your big machine, any die cutting machine. Put your die on top, and we're gonna run this through. Perfect. Let's get this out of the way. I use my mini machine so much, and I wasn't sure to use it because, you know, when you have the big machine does everything. Why would you need a mini one? But it's so convenient just to have on my desk all the time. My big one does not sit on my desk, so if I can do anything without having to get up and get something, that is the way I'm going to do it. But isn't that plain so much fun? The coloring is so great. It's going to coordinate so well with our DSP. So really fun coloring. All right, let's bring back in that greeting that I told you, that little label piece. This is from the Countryside Corners dies. And we're going to stamp that flying by to say hi, greeting. Lots of our greetings from that stamp set will fit on this little tag, so whatever you want to do. And so I'm just going to put that in the bottom right corner, just like that. And I'm going to pull out some Pebbled Path ink, which I didn't grab. Here we go. Let me grab that. Some Pebbled Path ink. And we're going to do some tone-on-tone stamping onto our card base. Our card base is Pebbled Path. And so we're going to stamp some clouds just along the right side here. So let me grab a piece of scratch paper and my Pebbled Path ink and my clouds. I'm using the big cloud image. You can use, there's a few options in that stamp set. So, but I like the big cloud image. It just covers a lot of space. And we're just gonna kind of go through, just stamp it differently every time, just so we get kind of different images of this cloud all the way down. Just like that. Perfect. So much fun. Okay. And that's all our stamping. We're done stamping. We can start assembling. So let's get our bone folder and burnish this card. This is your standard card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored in half at 4 1/4. We have our other pieces that we have stamped. We also have some DSP. This larger piece is 5.5 by 3, and then we have the smaller pattern, which is 5.5 by 1/2 inch. And then I have another piece of the Balmy Blue Baker's Twine from that 3-twine combo pack that we used yesterday. So let's go ahead and start adhering things down. I'm going to grab my snail, or not my snail, my Stampin' Seal here. It's in the back of this DSP Fun, so this is kind of like, what do they call those maps? I think they're like topography map. I'm not sure. It's been a long time since I've studied maps, but they're so fun. I just love the detail in all of these. All right, so we're gonna put this down. We're gonna put it all the way over to the left, so it's gonna go right up against that seam. And I'm not gonna push this side down, the right side down yet, because I want to just kind of tuck this in. I want to just make sure it's nice and straight before we tuck this in. Just like that, that looks pretty good. Mine is cut a little bit long on this side, on the bottom, so I'm just going to trim off that little, like, 1/8 of an inch, just to make everything nice and straight. And there's our little card base. Lovely. All right, our tag is going to go on, but we're going to stick our plain right onto our tag. It's going to make everything easier to adhere together. So I'm going to use a little bit of liquid glue. You can use glue dots for this. I'm just putting it on the bottom of the plane, pretty much like the bottom wing and the wheels. We're just going to put this on. We're going to put it on kind of at an angle. We want it to look like that plane is flying up into the air. So at a little bit of an angle. And once you get that adhered, then we can just go with the dimensionals and we can treat this all as like one piece. Just stick some dimensionals on here. I think that's good. Peel off that dimensional backing. And before we stick this down, I'm going to bring this in. We're going to put a little nest of twine there. So I'm going to kind of eyeball where I want this to go, and I kind of want my little nest to sit right here. So I'm just going to put just a little bit of adhesive directly onto my card there. We're going to completely cover that up, so don't worry about that. And I'm going to take my twine and I'm going to wrap it around 4 fingers, just as many times as it'll go. It should kind of meet in the middle. And so where those ends are, I'm just going to kind of pinch it and make it a little figure 8, just like this, and kind of separate some of those ends a little bit, kind of pull some of them to make them longer, shorter, and then we're just going to stick that right onto our adhesive, just like that. And if you have any longer ends, you can just trim those off. This one I think I'll just trim down just like that. But that is nice and stuck onto our little piece there, and if you want to kind of separate them a little bit more, you can. Just kind of make it look like a messy nest. And then we're just going to stick this right over it. That'll give it some more stability. Those dimensionals are going to hold that down even more. You can still kind of wiggle these around just to give them that messy look, that purposeful messy look. All right. And our final touch, we're going to do the industrial trinkets, and we're going to stick one of these on with a glue dot. So I'll put one of those on a glue dot. Pull that off, and this time we're just sticking it right into the center of the plane, just like that, where the propellers meet. All right, so that is it. Isn't that fun? I really love this one. I love the colors. I think the coloring is really fun on this one. So that is card number 4. This was card number 3, card number 2, and card number 1. Now remember, if you want to get this class kit, all you need to do is place an order of $50 or more in my online store. There are different levels of rewards. At $100 you get more, and at $150 you get even more. So make sure you check out the video description and my blog post for all the details on this. Make sure to subscribe to my channel so you never miss one of my videos. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for joining me on this class to go. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.